Have you ever given away something when you had almost nothing left? Well, this story might change the way you see kindness forever. A cold winter evening. The streets were crowded. People were rushing home. Among them was a 17-year-old boy named Ethan. He wasn't rich. In fact, he was struggling more than most people around him. Ethan had been looking for a part-time job all week. His wallet was almost empty. When he checked his pocket, he found just $1. That was all he had. $1 single. He looked across the street and saw a small bakery. The smell of fresh bread filled the air. His stomach growled. He hadn't eaten since morning. "At least I can buy something cheap," he whispered. Clutching that last dollar tightly, he started walking toward the bakery. But before he could reach it, something caught his attention. Near a bus stop sat an old man. His clothes were worn out. His hands were shaking from the cold. A small cardboard sign rested beside him. It read, "Hungry, haven't eaten in 2 days." Ethan slowed down. He looked at the old man. Then he looked at his last dollar. A battle started inside his mind. "If I give this away, I won't have anything. But what if he's telling the truth? What if he's even hungrier than I am?" For a few seconds, he stood frozen. Then he took a deep breath, walked over, and placed the dollar into the old man's hand. "Hope this helps," Ethan said softly. The old man's eyes filled with tears. "Thank you, son." Ethan forced a smile and walked away. But honestly, he felt scared. Now he had nothing, no food, no money, no plan, just faith. A few minutes later, Ethan sat alone on a bench, trying not to think about his empty stomach. Suddenly, a black car pulled up beside him. The window rolled down. A well-dressed man stepped out. "Ethan?" The boy looked confused. "Yes?" The man smiled. "I saw what you did back there." Ethan's heart skipped a beat. "What do you mean?" "The old man at the bus stop," the stranger continued. "My father and I run a local charity. We sometimes sit in public places to see how people treat those in need." Ethan was shocked. The man handed him a business card. Then he said something Ethan would never forget. "You were the only person who stopped today. The only one." Ethan stared at him in disbelief. The stranger continued, "We've been looking for young people with good character, not people with money, not people with perfect grades, people with heart." Then he smiled. "Would you like a job?" For a moment, Ethan thought he had heard wrong. "A job?" "Yes. A paid position at our community center." Ethan couldn't believe it. Just 30 minutes ago, he was worried about how he would survive the next day. Now someone was offering him an opportunity he had been searching for all week. Months passed. Ethan worked hard. The job helped him pay for school. He gained confidence, made new connections, and eventually built a successful career. Years later, when people asked him what changed his life, he never talked about luck. He never talked about talent. He always told them about one cold evening when he gave away his last dollar. Because sometimes the smallest act of kindness opens the biggest doors. Not because you're expecting a reward, but because kindness has a way of coming back when you least expect it. When you choose kindness even during your own struggles, you're showing the world who you truly are. And sometimes one selfless decision can change your entire future. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share it with someone who believes that kindness still matters.